How you doing? I'm Job from the ISC. I wanted to do this right quick. You know, in any crisis we have, there's always things that happen. In any type of situation, whether it be a hurricane, whether it be a natural disaster of any kind or anything like that. Um, in Puerto Rico, when they had that hurricane that went through there, there was a woman who got on the first flight out. I don't know if y'all may have seen me mention this before, but as soon as she landed in Orlando, Florida, there was a news crew there, interviewing some of the people, and they asked her. They said, "Well, how were things when you left? What was it like on the ground there when you flew out?" And the first thing she said was, "People were fist fighting over bottled water." And I was sitting here and I got to thinking, not everybody's been prepping as long. Not everybody is as ready as some of these people that you see out there on TV and this and that. That's what they've been living all their life and everything like that. And the thing about it is people have always mostly laughed and made fun of people that were preppers and everything. And I don't claim to be some master or anything like that. I learned just like everybody else, and that's by mistakes usually. But I want to show you just a couple real quick things that may help you. Not everybody. Let me start with this. The first thing to go in any natural disaster is water. It's the first thing to go. And if you don't listen to nothing else I say here, here's some of the most important things I could probably show you. Um, right now, and you need to do this now. You don't wait until everything gets worse and then do it. No matter what you're drinking, whether it had been a Pepsi I drank, I cleaned it out, I filled it up with water, toss it in the closet, under the bed. Okay, now you may have to refill these about every year or two. There's some Sunny D I was drinking. Fill that up with water, and right here is a Powerade. Fill it up with water. If your house is packed full, if you don't have no room, just toss this stuff under your bed if you have to. But you don't want to be without water. Your body can only go actually 3 days without being hydrated. 3 days without water. So that's very important. Now, a lot of us don't always have the thousands of dollars to put into buying these buckets and buckets and buckets of food with these 25-year shelf lives and stuff like that. Well, it doesn't matter. The thing of it is to put God first and foremost, and everything that you eat, no matter what it is, everything that you get in your home, everything is a gift from God. So just remember that and always thank God for what we do have. We've been a nation that's been comfortable way too long, comfortable. And there's been so many other nations out there that have been literally starving to death, that they know how to survive. They know how to eat the worst of the worst. And there's a lot of you out there that couldn't, kill just anything out there and eat it and stuff. Like you see some of these people do on these survival shows and stuff, and eat raw stuff. And a lot of people just absolutely would rather die than do it. But when you get hungry enough, you'll eat about anything. I was growing up. Like I said, I believe God's been grooming me all my life. I remember back when we lived in a trailer park in Dryden, and me, my sister, and my mother literally didn't have anything to eat. And I remember one of my sisters, the oldest sister, had done moved away, but one of my sisters, Betty, she went over to the neighbors and she literally borrowed. Well, they gave it to us. Her name was Willie. She was such a sweet lady. She gave us, and this is all she could afford because she had kids of her own, but she gave us 1 can of tomato soup, Campbell's tomato soup. I remember that. And between the 3 of us, and you could imagine, being a young kid, age 5 or 6-year-old, being hungry. You're out there, your belly's growling. All the other kids, they get called in to eat supper, and here you are out there feeling like, wow, I don't have supper. And I was one of those kids that when there was no school, I went hungry a lot of times, even though my mother did the best she could. But we had to leave her dad, um, certain reasons. But here's another thing I want to show you. Um, I'm just saying things can get bad, and I've been through bad. I've been through really bad. I mean, we've literally cooked bread in a coffee pot over a fire while living out in near a lake that had 7 alligators in it, and one of us literally had to watch for alligators while the other one would get into the lake and literally bathe with a bar of soap. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but we were on the run from my dad at the time. But here's another thing you can do. Like I said, you don't have. I'm not trying to put a pity thing on you here. I'm just trying to tell you that things can get really bad. And as I was saying, some of us don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to put into this expensive stuff they're selling and this and that. So here's what I want you to do. Well, for the prices, the prices have already doubled on this stuff, just about it. But here's your beans, and you can get these in 10 pounds. This right here is, I think 4 pounds. That's the 4-pound bag here. But you can get these in 10 pounds, and this is your protein. This is your protein. This has as long as you keep this good, this is good for about 5 years at least, maybe longer. I know people that say it up to 10 years and stuff. This right here, this is a 10-pound bag of rice. Okay, now your beans are your protein, and your rice is your carbohydrates. Now growing up poor, I mean, I lived on soup beans, beans and cornbread. There's nothing better than beans and cornbread and some onion to me if it's made right. But with a good onion, and that stuff you can grow as well. The onions, cucumbers, all that stuff like that. Try to homestead, try to garden and stuff the best you can. But this right here and those are beans. This is your carbohydrates, your rice. Because if you just eat this by yourself, you're going to be hungry about an hour later. But when you add this beautiful beans to it, that's your protein. Now, there's also your meats. You can get your canned products. Right now they got this stuff like this, the tuna. If you get the off-brand, this here's a Clover Valley. Sometimes you'll see a Laura Lynn or something like that. Get it. You can get these two. You can get these two for $1.50 or 75 cents a piece. And if you go to some places, you can get these for 50 cents a piece. Sometimes they got sales on all this stuff. But just your regular basic can of tuna. And here is right here's your go-to. I know this sounds crazy. Blam spam burgers, spam in a can, spam beans, spam and cheese, spam sandwiches, green spam and eggs, whatever. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, look, they got this now and all kinds of different stuff. There's teriyaki, they got a bacon. Here's regular spam. But now here's the important. They don't make these as good as they used to. There used to be this little key that would pop off, and you would have to take it all the way around the can to open it. But still yet, they preserve this. If you ever notice when you open up a can of spam, there's usually a white all the way around the meat. And that's because this stuff is packed in so much sodium, so much salt. Literally, I'm not kidding. You can look this up. As long as this seal is not broken, as long as it doesn't smell bad and everything, this right here literally can outlast a human lifetime. I'm not kidding. Not kidding. Look it up. This spam is a lifetime food. And this meat, it's protein. And when you put all this stuff together, you can actually make yourself a decent little meal without having to, whether you're having to spend food stamps, EBT, whatever, stock up on some of these things I'm telling you right here to do. And most importantly, that water. You drink you a Pepsi, don't throw away that bottle. You drink you a bottle of water. I know you love your Aquafina or your Smart Water or whatever, or your Evian, your Fuji. Well, not everybody's that wealthy. So you go to the store and you get your Laura Lynn, or you get your cheap brand of 24 spring waters or 32 distilled waters, whatever. Once you drink them, take them, refill them, toss them under the bed, toss them in the closet. Look, I'm Joe from the ISC. I just wanted to show you a few things, and I hope this helps you out, because these are times that could be perilous and times where we need to prepare. And there is a cheaper way to prepare than having to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. You might spend, $10,000, $6,000 or whatever on 25 to 50 buckets of food or whatever that might have a 25-year shelf life, and this world might not even be around for another 25 years. So it's okay to go with the 5-year food plan, and it's even cheaper. So just give that some thought. Good day, and God bless you. That's all I want to say.